not everybody's going to be all lovey-dovey and be open to share their deepest secrets in what you do.
We'll get there, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, because right now nobody wants anybody out there making crappy meads, because our brothers that are making mead to make a living, if we give somebody a shitty mead, then they're not going to want to go buy somebody else's mead off the shelf, right?
They're not going to want anybody's mead.
Yeah, somebody has a shitty mead, they're going to think all mead is shitty, and they're never going to want it again. I mean, putting on my executive director of the AMMA hat for a second, yeah, I want to eliminate crappy professional meads. Please don't put them in bottles. Please don't.
Take a page out of Ken's book, pour it down the drain.
Right, exactly.
Well,
yeah, if it is not good, just pour it down the drain. It's not worth it. It's just not.
Vicky, we judged a flight last year at the Mazer Cup.
Oh, it was horrible, wasn't it, Ryan?
Do you guys even taste this shit before
I
you
know,
put it in
right?
the bottle?
It was like a whole segment of... It was semi-sweet traditionals, and it was like, 8 out of 10 of them were just like gack. It was terrible.
And we were having a hard time by being as generous as we could be to even get it up to the minimum. What is 30 points?
Because Glenn said we had to give him at least however many points it was, because it arrived at the table in a glass, and it was like, oh please God, don't make me drink this.
I know. And you see, that hurts the guys that are making good mead.
It
does.
Somebody
goes, I drank some swill at a Rin factory. Help me, a Rin Fest, and it tasted like crap. Or my friend made some mead once, and I tried it, and it's time to bring all that stuff to a halt and make good meads.
Make
all
good
of us.
mead, or don't let anybody touch it.
Well, and I say to the new people on the forums and on Facebook, it's no harder to make a good mead than it is a bad mead.
It's just as much effort.
You just have to start out by reading for a few days first, right? I mean, come on, this is not rocket science.
No, not really. I mean, that
takes less time to read than it does to fix something after you screwed it up.
Well, if it's broken enough, you're not going to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
You might learn a lot from trying, though.
People have this idea, and I kind of hate it. It's one of the world's is flat things. You could take any old piece of crap meat, and if you age it for a year or two, it's going to taste great. No, I think you can still taste the flaws in it a lot of the time.
Hey, I don't mind a minorly flawed mead. It's when it's like, really, my cat piss. If my cat pisses, it tastes better than this. Seriously, you put this in a bottle? No. I mean, that's the thing.
You're charging money for this?
You're right, exactly. It's like you put this in a bottle and on a store shelf? What were you thinking?
Yeah, you couldn't even feed this to starving pigs.
Thank you. It should have been down the drain before it ever. Yeah, it's like, oh my God. And the funny thing is when the home meads, you don't see, or at least I haven't seen as much of that in the various categories that I have judged in the last 5 to 7 years. Now, before that, there was a lot of like, oh my God, you sent this in, all right, I'll give you constructive feedback, because no, I ain't drinking this. But now there's a whole lot of really amazing meads, which is why we see a new meadery opening every 3 days on average in the United States.
Well, I think home brewers have a bit of an advantage, quite frankly, over the commercial guys, because they can only enter things that they sell through the store, and so every one of them are bound to a price point, and they have to make a profit on each bottle or they don't stay in business.
Well, and that's a big thing. It's a desperation move is what it is.
Well, a lot of my stuff that I like and make, you can't make the same stuff as a commercial maker, not because they don't have the skill. There's plenty of people way better than I am, but they can't afford to buy. I have stuff that if you buy a Pyment, if you buy a wine kit and then add your honey and then add some other things, you're looking at $20 or $30 a gallon just for your costs.
Yeah,
that doesn't work. That doesn't work for a commercial meadery. They can't put. I've got some stuff I put 20 pounds of fruit in per gallon.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Yeah. You can't do that
but Ryan, these are traditionals. There's like no freaking excuse.
Right. Well,
I'm
you go.
sorry.
Yeah. Well,
I could
they're harder
see.
to make.
I could see it was a piment or melomel or methylene where there was expensive other ingredients. I mean, honey's bad enough, expensive wise, but
Right.
still, it's like really.
That's why I tell everybody. When I first heard it from Peter, I'm going, yeah, who wants to make a traditional? You know what? I like making trads now more than anything else.
Yeah.
And if I ever get to open up my own meadery, I probably will mostly specialize in those.
I've got some signature honeys that I want to showcase, and it'd be a sin to cover them up with something else.
Well, and here I've thought a lot about, because you make. I thought about, okay, if I have a tap room, I have to make some stuff that's going to suit the beer drinker, because I don't have any beer, but okay, so I can make some braggots. I've got people that want to drink spirits, but I can't sell them spirits, so I thought I need to make something that will fill the need of anybody that walks in here that drinks something else. Mm-hmm. And I've said this before, probably just a few weeks ago, some people that I used to know, they'd come over and they'd drink my meads all day long and loved them until it was time to eat, and then they'd go straight to drinking their wine.
Mm-hmm.
I was never offended, but I was like, how come we don't drink my mead when we're eating dinner? I do.
Yeah, I do too. Well, and that's why we've got the mead and food pairing book that Chrissy Mannion-Zarpur wrote,
which is really cool.
Which is really cool. Yeah, it's an awesome book.
So I started thinking about making the different categories, one for everybody that would, so I can get some sales in my store. And I thought, you know what? And I understand why most of the meaderies sell 375s instead of 750s for the same price or more than what somebody can walk into a liquor store and buy a bottle of wine. But I thought, I'm going to have a really hard time making somebody spend twice. Buy a little 375, a glass and a half, for the same cost as or more than they're going to spend for their bottle of their favorite wine. And so I thought, you know what? That's because everybody has a substitute that they're going to go back to and not drink the thing that we can provide them that's similar in a wine, in a mead, except for traditionals. There's nothing else out there. And yeah, you could maybe do some, barrel aging, which I do, or this and that, but there's nothing else that's truly like a traditional, right? And so that's really, as a mead industry, in my opinion, that's the only thing that stands alone and apart from everything else in a pretty significant way, enough that you could then maybe have some really nice trads that you dress them up and put some lipstick on the bottle and make it look expensive and get a better price for it. And so if somebody likes a traditional, they can't go, well, I can go get the same thing similar in over here at Applejack's on tomorrow, so
yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of, I don't know. I like a well-made traditional too, because it showcases the honey.
Well, and the thing is with the traditional, and Pete says this a lot, in a traditional, there's no place to hide. If you can make a great traditional, any other style of mead is easy.
Mm-hmm. I agree, and that's why I tell the guys that want to ask me to learn how to make mead, I usually take 2 or 3 people a year on to truly make them good mead makers. And you noticed I didn't say mazer. I haven't done that.
Yeah, please don't do that. I'll have to ban you from the show if you do that. I really will. Yeah.
No, just floggings with a wet noodle.
Flogging, multiple floggings, all that kind of thing. Depriving you of mead, whatever it takes,
Or a wet oat spiral.
That's where we start, because I really think that once you can do that, everything else is easy, and everything else will be way better by learning to do that as well.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and you guys are going to hear more about this next week when Pete's on the show. So,
for those of you that don't know Pete, I think he comes from I think he's a 7th generation fermenter. His roots go back to Croatia, and all of his people were winemakers. And not only is Pete, I look at him, this. As soon as I say this, somebody's going to be offended, but there's nobody greater than There's nobody greater than Pete. He knows everything, not about mead, but I didn't realize it until later on that this guy knows wines galore, and
plus he's got a degree in chemistry. He's been to school at UC Davis Enology College. He's so educated. It's just ridiculous.
He's forgotten more than if I could learn half of what he's forgotten. I'll be one of the better mazers in the whole world.
No, it's not a mazer. Stop that.
Oh yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Ryan. I will have to kick you off the show.
I just relaxed there for a minute and fell back.
See what happens when you drink too much?
I know, huh?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I killed a 750, and I still know a mazer is a cup. Thank you.
There you go. You're not bucking up against old bad habits. Then.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, we are mead makers. That is what we are.
That's right. I'm out.
All right. So, guys, you've been in nutrient dense, and you can listen to this again because it's going to be recorded. So
you'll probably want to.
You'll probably want to. Yeah. So let's
packed.
get to the rest of this crap so we can let you go back to your regular lives. Ryan, thank you, and we'll see you again next week when Pete comes on. I think Ryan left. Oh, wait. Is this saying trial again? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
God, I don't know where that's coming from. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I am also I don't know why it's saying trial. If you can hear this, I'm sorry. Join us. I am the executive director of the American Mead Makers Association, in addition to being like a really old mead maker. And so we are running a conference next spring in Broomfield, Colorado. So join us at the AMMA Mead Conference in Broomfield, Colorado. It's March 14th and 15th in 2018. I don't know why it does that. There will be 2 days and 2 tracks, both professional and home, of amazing mead speakers, plus a couple pretty amazing breakout sessions that you don't want to miss. You can get tickets. They're on sale now at mead-makers.org. Get your tickets now. There are a limited number of tickets, so grab yours. We're going to run down the list and get off because it's saying trial, and I don't know why. So November 17th, St. Ambrose Winery, that's tomorrow, is going to be running Alfredo Improv, and then on the 18th, they're going to have Dale Wicks. That's their regular music program. November 18th and 19th, Starlight Meadery is running the Get Ready for Turkey Day food pairing ideas and tasting of their meads. All of these are linked also on the show page for this episode. So November 18th, Charm City Meadworks in Baltimore, tap room grand opening, 16 meads on tap. So this is brand new. On November 18th at 6 p.m., Lupulin Brewery in Big Lake, Minnesota is having their Minnesota Mead Makers Meetup this Saturday. The meeting is at Lupulin Brewery at 6 p.m. They're bringing commercial and homebrew to share. The show is... Okay, wait. What we got here? All right, and the... hang on, Hamish told me about this, and I got to make sure I get it right. The Australian, here we go. The Eltham and District Winemakers Guild is this Saturday. Come and visit Australia's largest amateur wine show. It is Sunday, November 19th from 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. 700 wines and meads available for tasting. They have a professional class, gold medal and major awards. Monday they'll have their award presentations, and they've got cheese pairings and olive oil samples. Entry's only $17, so definitely check this out. This is something that Hamish is involved in, so definitely check it out. And that is at amateurwine.org.au. So go check that out if you're in Australia. It's definitely worth the look. And that's AJ. That's all I've got.
Yeah, I think that's all we've got. And with the trial thing going on again, let's just. I don't know where that's coming
from because, like, I've been talking to the programmer. He's like, "No, our software doesn't do that." I'm like, "Yes, it's doing that. Why?"
Well, something does.
Something's doing
it. Gandalf says we should cold crash it.
Yeah, go crash it. Yeah, Gandalf's right. Dilly, yeah.
Trial.
Okay, so we're going to wind this thing up, and we'll see you next week when we're going to have Pete Bakalich, who is Oscar on the forums and one of the biggest, and most interesting mead makers out there. So Ryan's bringing him in, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, make sure you're here next week.